What's up, y'all? I am Marcus, and welcome back to From the Dark. From the Dark, baby. Today we've got our iron, steel, and chain build kicking. I'm just showing off my stats here. I've done some leveling up. And Claymore plus 10. Our Pyro Flame, Chain Helm, Steel Armor plus 8. I actually dumped some of our chunks that we've picked up, some Titanite chunks into that so far. I put into that, and we actually have this Ring of Steel protection as well. We've got a crazy 280 physical defense over there, thanks to the Ring of Steel protection and also that steel armor. And we also have, this is where the iron comes in, Iron Flesh, Pyromancy of Carmina, who harness the power of flame to actualize the inner self. Iron Flesh boosts defense and resilience, but makes you roll slow, or actually makes you unable to roll and makes you slow as shit. That's not part of the official description, but that's my description. It makes you slow as shit. As we hail our next victim, I wanted to say that the image that you saw at the beginning of today's episode is one of the teaser images that I've been doing for the series. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, what I've taken to doing in recent episodes is I actually upload a little picture, kind of showing off the build. You know, I did a little bit of editing, use a couple filters, use some manual edits and stuff like that, try to make it look real nice. Giant circumcision position right here. This guy, if you kill him, it's gonna stop the ball trap from being. If you kill him, yeah, in giant circumcision position, it's gonna stop the ball trap. I guess that's anyway. Something. I had something for this. Anyway, but yeah, I've been uploading those teaser images on my Twitter, and I have an Imgur album that has a bunch of 1080p versions. And so if you guys see any that you like, I'm gonna start putting them at the beginning of the episodes. If you see any that you like, you can get them as a wallpaper. Yeah. From here, we can actually look up into the boss room. These don't bust the way those the other ones did earlier. You can hop down here and right back into this room. And like I said, destroying that golem there, that stops this trap from being activated. Although it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because if you were wanting to free Logan, or if you were wanting to get the Gold Serpent Ring, you have to have already busted the wall. Like you see here, I loaded the fortress, but I didn't go through the fortress and let the ball trap roll and break all the walls and all that stuff before I killed the giant, so it's blocked off again. So yeah, what it's really good for though is you could stop and smell the roses here. You see the scratches on the walls and all these little details in Sin's Fortress that you might not otherwise notice. And it can be worth it to go all the way through the fortress from the beginning, and move the ball trap to actually break the walls, and then, you know, kill the giant and come back down and explore the whole fortress. It like I said, normally you're in a hurry going through those areas all Indiana Jones style, so it can be really fun to just stop and take your time. The game doesn't really want to let you take your time there. We're almost done with Sin's Fortress. We got one more thing to do. After I kindle this bonfire, we got one more thing to do. There is a friend of ours that we can summon here. A friend named Iron Tarkus. Now, Iron Tarkus is extremely famous in the community for being a total badass that can solo this boss. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this. We are gonna try to let Iron Tarkus kill this boss without any fucking help from us. I'm not gonna lift a lazy ass finger. I ain't gonna do anything. We're gonna summon Tarkus, and we're gonna just try to let him kill the boss. And if he don't kill it, then I'm gonna use a Homeward Bone and I'm gonna get out, and then we're gonna go back in and we're gonna try it again. So, you guys, place your bets right now. How many attempts is it gonna take for Iron Tarkus to be able to solo this boss? Is it gonna be 1, 2, 3, crunch, 3. That's an old Tootsie Roll Pop reference. But anyway, yeah, you guys go ahead. Place your bets in the comments right now. This is a really cool little walk right here, and this is another one of those things where if you're not in human form, you'll come over here and then wonder, what was the point of that room? Fuck your table and fuck your chairs, Tarkus. I mean, unless you don't want me to fuck them, sir. Iron Tarkus, if I remember correctly, Tarkus the name is once again a Berserk reference, but, you know, Tarkus, Marcus, it's all kind of the same thing, really. Like, Tarkus is designed to... Obviously, this is a set of armor that we'll be able to get later as well, and we will. We will. He's wielding that great sword that he's well known for. Tarkus and your tenuous connection to the Knights of Berenique. Alright, so we'll have a little bit of fun with this. I'm gonna try to work on my shoutcasting chops here today. I'm gonna be shoutcasting a match between Black Iron Tarkus and the Iron Golem of Sin's Fortress, the guardian of 1,000 years, who has been preventing undead from reaching Anor Londo. The final trial, as it were. Throw these fucking wind blades. You almost clipped me with that too. Come on, Golem. That hole in his chest, I think that's where the core goes, if you ask me. That's my interpretation. Alright, Iron Golem is opening up with a couple of shots here, but Iron Tarkus using the shield for defense, and oh, you can't block that one, Tark. You cannot block that. I think that's got the action, like 720 motion. It's amazing the Iron Golem can pull off those standing 720s so reliably. Oh man, the Oki game too OP. Ah, and he missed the thrust. Come on, Tarkus, get in there and get some damage. There you go. Now he's two-handing. All right. If he gets him again, he can actually stagger him, but no. The Iron Golem with the poke just kind of reset the situation, get his stun meter back. Ow! Tarkus, the thrusting attacks don't always work so well against these large opponents. Have their legs spread apart like that. There's a little gap in the hitbox. Ooh, not looking too good today there, Cotton. Not looking too good today there, boss. Come on, Tarkus, you got this. We don't got that much faith, to be honest. Yeah, let's just go ahead and equip these homeward bones, because somebody's getting boned. Actually, they're literally getting boned because they're being fucked up by something that's originally powered by a bone. You'll see. You'll see that'll all come into play later in this episode. No, Tarkus, You know, alright, that was a warm-up. You know, he's getting used to dealing with the command grabs. That was just a little bit of a warm-up. Alright, so if you bet one, you were wrong. I'm sorry. Fuck them tables and fuck them chairs. Fuck this chair too. Alright, Tarkus. Buddy, we believe in you. Alright? We've got faith. We know you can do this. Well, we don't actually have that much faith right now. I think right now our faith is sitting on 10. That's something that we have to raise pretty soon. I'm talking about, like, our character's literal stat, faith. We actually need to raise that pretty soon because, like I said, this is going to be kind of a true Artorias build. Right now, we've got a lot of strength. We've got some decent dex. We've got some endurance. We got a little bit of int. We ain't got that much faith. Alright, Tarkus, I can't see! Tarkus, no! Tarkus has a bad habit of sometimes, like, blocking vision completely going in the door there. Reminds me of what my parents always used to tell me when I was a kid. Wait. I don't remember what they used to tell me when I was a kid. Oh my goodness. What was it? What was that? Something, like, when I was standing in front of the TV, there's something about muddy water. I don't know. Anyway, Iron Tarkus. Not doing so good against Iron Golem. Once again, the command throw is just too much for Tarkus to take. I don't know if he's not familiar with this matchup. He doesn't realize that you can actually not block that and that you actually need to move out the way. But I don't know. He started off, he's got some more damage in there this time, though. All right, here's his chance. All right, he missed the thrust. Oh, he's got him low. All right, he's getting it. He's in there. We believe in you. Ah, that throw, though. Come on, Tarkus. You got this, Tarkus. Oh, it's gonna be close. Tarkus is almost dead. You can do this. Buddy. You can do this. No, the throw, man. Oh, the throw. Alright, Tarkus. This time, we gonna help you out a little bit. Now, we ain't actually gonna lift a finger. Like I said, I done promised I wasn't gonna help. I'm not gonna lift any fingers. I'm not actually gonna hit the thing. But I did give him a little bit of an assist, and you guys who know the mechanics really well, or who have been paying close attention throughout the playthrough so far, probably already figured out what help I just gave him. I'll explain it at the very end. But for now, round 3, Iron Tarkus versus Iron Golem. Oh, that big thrust, that second large thrust got the Golem staggered and all wobbly. You can actually knock the Golem off the side, but Tarkus is not going to pull that off right now. It's just not positioned correctly. Interesting point, I'd never really thought about this, but I think that the Iron Golem stagger might actually be HP based rather than poise. I'm not sure. It's related to the trick that I pulled to help Tarkus stagger, to help Tarkus pull it off this time. Hey, get him, Tarkus! Get in there, the sword is for attack. That's my boy. Well, what is it? So if you didn't figure it out, what I did different on the third try there is I actually entered the fog gate before Tarkus' summoning was completed, so the boss did not get the health bonus for me having a summon with me, and Tarkus melted him. So yeah, Tarkus can actually beat the boss even if you are slow to go through the gate, but if you rush through the gate, he'll handle it easily. He'll handle it. Anyway, just having a little bit of fun today, guys. This boss room is pretty damn fascinating to me. First of all, like I said, this kind of demonic architecture that you're gonna see, these like imp-looking things, doesn't seem like something you would have associated with the gods. The core of an Iron Golem, soul serving as the core of the Iron Golem, guardian of Sin's fortress, and slayer of countless heroes seeking Anor Londo, originally a bone of an everlasting dragon. What? Yeah, that's some crazy lore right there. The fact that this was originally the bone of an everlasting dragon that has turned into a soul, which serves as the core of the golem. So you can not only you can animate things using souls, all right? B, this soul actually came from the bone of an everlasting dragon. A lot of people have always wondered why the gods and the witches of Izalith or what have you were having to fight against the everlasting dragons in the first place in the intro. Well, maybe their bones were souls containing power that they could use to do stuff or to give life to whatever the hell they wanted to. I mean, I don't know, that's some crazy lore on that one. And once again, these statues, these demonic-looking statues, we've already seen the lore on the demon spear that Shiva of the East possesses, that kind of indicates that there are chaos demons in Anor Londo, and that they're a little bit different from chaos demons in other places. See the Duke's Archives up there. So, you know, this isn't, I don't know. I don't know. Another major point of interest here, and probably the biggest point of interest, is that there appears to be this overland entrance into Anor Londo right here, but it's walled off. You see this giant archway completely walled off. At first, if you just look at it, it might look like just some rubble has fallen down and blocked the path, but I don't think so. I think this was a wall that was put there And you can see that these gashes are kind of where Iron Golem has struck the wall through the years, or during the fights, the wind blades he throws or whatever has hit the wall. You can kind of see the pillars on the side. You can see where chunks have been cut out of them. Like, this isn't just rubble that has fallen. The wall was originally walled off with brick, and then it's been damaged through the years. But, man, who walled off Anor Londo? Well, possibly the same person that made sure that this is the only way you can access it is by Batwing Demon. Anor Londo, the lost city of sunlight. And a beautiful city at that. Have a look around. Once again, the archives we can see quite easily from here. Yeah, only being able to access this place by Batwing Demon. Now, the gods have long since abandoned Anor Londo. And it's possible that the gods who abandoned the city were the ones who walled it off to prevent people from getting here. Or perhaps the remnants who still remain, because there is still a god in Anor Londo. Perhaps the one who remains is the one who walled off the city. You can actually already see this gargoyle down below waiting for us. And get a good view of the level overall, that rotating elevator and Gwyn's old keep. Beautiful place, Anor Londo. Kind of idyllic city of the gods. It's what it's intended to be in any case. And something that a lot of players actually don't realize about Anor Londo is that once you've come here, you actually can leave without the Lord Vessel. In order to do so, you need to go back to the beginning of the level, and you can speak again with the Batwing Demon, and you can actually go back. See, he's right up here. If we interact with this creepy looking motherfucker right here, he'll help us descend back down to Sin's Fortress. I love how the lighting is actually different on the return trip there when those demons bring you back down as opposed to your ascension. Now, as for why the Batwing demons help you and why the city is walled off, first of all, a lot of people have thought through the years that perhaps there was some cut content connecting Sin's Fortress to Anor Londo. I don't have any proof of that. There doesn't seem to be any evidence that I've seen remaining in the game that there would be any sort of cut content where you could go through an extra level or what have you to get from Sin's to Anor Londo. Instead, it seems like it was intended to be walled off. Now, I don't know. You can already see treasure. Treasure! There's treasure for everyone, but mostly for me. Another fascinating thing, not only the gargoyle, you also see that door back there. That's going to be important later on. I love the vantage points that they give you early in this level. Go ahead and give you the overview, the kind of the layout of what you're going to be doing. Our activities and our itinerary for today. And these dudes. Heavy weapons are actually really good against these guys. I mean, you obviously can beat any enemy with any weapon, really. But heavy weapons are actually quite good against these giants. Looking down in the city, seeing some similarities between the church with the Bell of Awakening rooftop there, and this is another area that we're actually going to be going to a little bit later on. Gwyn's old keep. And yeah, just having a look around. And looking forward to all the things that we have to do. Some of the kind of symbolism that you see here, if you ask me, it looks like kind of a bread basket and then this kind of like stylized wheat around it. So symbol of bounty, symbol of harvest. Kind of actually makes sense giving the goddess of sunlight's goddess of fertility and bounty. Although I could be mistaken, don't know. Could mean nothing at all. Could be reading too much into that. I'm gonna use you can actually face pull this guy. It's just a little bit safer if you just want to use a throwing knife. I've actually been, yeah. These guys are actually pretty easy just to face pull, so you don't have to do that. But and yeah, like I said, the powerful weapons, the larger two-handed great swords and ultra great swords, great axes, those sorts of things, actually really strong against these giants. 1, 2, 2. This room has a statue of the Dragon Slayer Ornstein. And yeah, his name is Ornstein. For a couple of years, I called him Ornstein. A lot of people complained about that. I actually knew a family that were the Steens growing up, and their name was spelled the same way, so there are different ways to pronounce that, but this guy's name is actually Ornstein. Just call him Orns. It don't matter to me what you call him, but pick up that demon Titanite more from the passing of the blacksmith deity. Makes you wonder when he passed. But I guess I should also point out too, because invariably somebody points out my pronunciation of the word Golem. People say it's Golem. Well, in this game, when the characters talk, they say Golem. So, your mileage may vary. Say it however the hell you want to say it. Gonna put Duke's Archives there. I find Ornstein's statue being there in that room to be very fascinating, because a lot of people to this day still want to say that Ornstein was supposed to be the firstborn of Lord Gwyn, but that doesn't really make any sense, because the firstborn was expelled from Anor Londo and etc, 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 and yet we still see statues of him here, and he's still actually present in the city. Now, you could say, well, he was expelled, and then when all the other gods left, he came back, and then he's erected statues in his own honor. Like, yeah, but just based off of kind of all of the facts that we have in general, it does not seem likely that Ornstein is the firstborn son of Lord Gwyn. This crossroads right here leads us to a very, very cool character. The Dark Moon Nidus. This lady is a Firekeeper, and she has a lot to say about the Bonfire Keepers as well.
Well, You are a rare visitor. Welcome to the lost city of Anor Londo, chosen undead. If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you. What is it? What am I? Well, I am the keeper of the bonfire. If not for me, what beacon would there be in this lost city? A gatekeeper and a guide. That is my calling. The bonfires attended by the keepers are special. They are linked to one another, and their flames never die. Yet never shall the keepers of these flames meet. If you require rest, now is the time. That is, after all, what the bonfire is for.
Alright, lots of fascinating details in her dialogues there. The first one that I want to key in on was, she said, chosen undead at one point, and then she turned right back around and said, if you are the chosen one, like she addresses you as chosen undead, welcome to Anor Londo, chosen undead, and then she turns right back around and says, well, if you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. Like, make up your damn mind. This goes back to my point where all undead are chosen to go on this pilgrimage, right? All undead are chosen, quote unquote chosen, to accept these trials, or at least they are taught in the world of Dark Souls that it is your destiny, your fate. If you are undead, then you have to make a pilgrimage to Lordran. You have to accept these trials. This is what you do. That's your fate. That's what you're taught in the world of Dark Souls. But then again, it turns right back around, and it turns out, well, okay, so about that. All of the undead are fated to try these trials, but there's only really one chosen one who's going to succeed. And what does success mean? Well, once again, Kingseeker Frampt has told us that success means that we're gonna be the next Lord of Sunlight. We're gonna succeed Lord Gwyn. We're gonna be king. I just can't wait to be king. But, yeah, funny story. Dark Souls, things don't really necessarily work out the way you think. No, things don't necessarily work out the way people are telling you that they'll work out. All the NPCs kind of have not only their own limited knowledge, but they have their own motivations as well. And the things that they tell you, not necessarily like keeping your own best interests at heart. This is a giant trying to troll me here. Trolling. But another major point that she talked about when we asked, what am I? Like, she was very hesitant at first to say about her role. She mentions she's a bonfire keeper, but there's a lot more to it than just that. And we see the statue of Smo, one of Miyazaki-san's favorite designs. We'll talk more about Smo when we actually encounter him in the game, but another thing Miyazaki-san said in interviews at one point was the fact that other game companies' presidents, he often designs, like, he bases bosses around them. I wonder if Smo was one of them. Anyway, one of the other things that the Dark Moon Knight says was, she seems hesitant to tell you what she actually is. She says, what am I? Well, keeper of the bonfire, a gatekeeper, and a guide. I think the gatekeeper and guide part are completely unrelated to her role as a bonfire keeper. That's kind of a hint that there's more going on with her, that she is actually the Dark Moon Knightess as well, and there's this whole, like, the Dark Moon side of Anor Londo is something that you have to uncover. It's not something that's just told to you. The chain is facing straight towards us, and the sucker is breathing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have another mimic. Another thing that she said was that the flames attended to by the keepers are special. I talked about this earlier in the playthrough. I said the bonfires that are attended by the keepers are special, and a lot of people were like, how do you know that? What makes them so special? Well, I don't know necessarily what makes them special, except that this dialogue says that they're special. This is where I get that information from. Goodbye, Mimic. Hello, Crystal Halberd. This Crystal Halberd, this is unlike the other crystal weapons we found earlier in the game, like the Crystal Greatsword and whatnot, this is a normal halberd that has been upgraded to +10 and then ascended to the crystal upgrade path. Quite powerful, extremely powerful. You can see our +10 halberd and the jump up in power to our crystal halberd is insane. I really think that this weapon is a gameplay consideration. Like, they put this here, it does chunk the durability down to almost nothing, and it cannot be repaired. You can upgrade it and repair the durability, but once you hit the max level, like once you hit Crystal Halberd +5, if it breaks at that point, you're done. It's finished. You can't fix it. So, there's that. You can see that Crystal Halberd is so powerful, and I think it's a gameplay consideration for players coming through who maybe haven't figured out how weapon reinforcement works properly yet. They actually give you the lightning spear is a lightning elemental upgraded spear. They give that to you in Sin's Fortress in a Mimic chest, and then here in this chest we get another pre-upgraded weapon. We get the Crystal Halberd. So they're giving you some weapons just to make sure that you actually will have enough power to kind of clear these areas. But it's limited, as always. Like, that Crystal Halberd, 20 points of endurance. Trolling. It goes back to when you were fighting Gaping Dragon, too. That's where Donald actually sold Crystal Greatsword, Crystal Sword, and Crystal Shield, which, you know, they're powerful items that can be broken easily, especially by the Gaping Dragon's big AoE vomit attack. Going back to what was said by the Dark Moon Nidus, the flames attended to by the keepers are special. The keepers shall never meet. Their flames never die. I always was fascinated by this line that never shall the keepers meet, but in retrospect, it's actually kind of painfully obvious what she means is the fact that if the keepers actually met, then they wouldn't be at their various bonfires. Like, Anastasia can't be at Firelink and the Dark Moon Nidus in Anor Londo, them both at their bonfire, and actually meet each other, right? So, that makes sense. Sealed by the Great Lord's power. Brilliant light seals our path forward. This seals off the way to the four lords, or to the Great Lords that have the remaining souls that we'll need after we collect the Lord Vessel. Sealed off by the Great Lord's power. Gwyn is referred to as the Great Lord, so it makes it sound like Gwyn is the one who has sealed off these areas, and that's kind of a fascinating point too that I've never really dwelled too much on. This is a holdover from Demon Souls. They were the boss fog, like the Lord fogs. Or in Demon Souls, they were the fogs of the archdemons. Like, you have to have the soul of a demon, of a great demon, to pass through this barrier. So, like, these unlockable fog gates is something that's definitely from Demon Souls, so I never really put too much thought into it. But in Dark Souls, there's actually a bit of explanation for it. It's been sealed off by Lord Gwyn, and the key to unlocking it is to actually place the Lord Vessel. Whew, too much lore, man. Too much lore in one episode. It's tough to keep up. The last thing that the Dark Moon Nidus had told us was that the bonfire is for rest. And I don't know. It seems like there's some deeper meaning there, other than the obvious. You can heal your HP if you rest at a bonfire. Good luck there, kiddo. It seems like there's more to it than that. these spiral elevators, like both this one and the one over there, and then the spiral staircases as well, these were all kind of key features of Anor Londo's design from the beginning, like fundamental, like things that they wanted to have in there. Look who's back. Gargoyle. We've faced off with these guys at the Bell of Awakening, and now we have them here. Oops, rolled a little bit too early. Oh, I know what it was. I was sitting there trying to mash the button to get rid of the item prompt, and ended up rolling. I really hate it when item prompts interfere with your actual gameplay, but what can you do? Chopping off the gargoyle's tail will instantly stagger it, so a trick for a quick kill on those is to actually get a hit, and then cut off the tail to stagger it, and then to get another hit which will break its poise and actually stagger it, and then to get another hit to finish the job. Like, it's a quick kill on the gargoyles. Looking down here. Looking for a path forward. If you're just heading through this level for the first time, you come down here, you're like, where the hell do I go now? And this was actually another element that Miyazaki-san called out as another key design, is this whole idea of you walking on these, what do you call them, buttresses? I don't know. But as you head back in this direction, you can see these stairs over here, and you see this buttress to your right. If you turn your camera about, you might find that to the left, but let's just assume that you follow these stairs up. And as you're following the stairs up, you see this walkway ends, and you look down, oh, there's something down below. Oh, there's that treasure chest. So this area, they don't directly show you where to go, but they give you every like little hint and little chance in the world to find out. Okay, well, there's something down here. let me explore around down at the bottom a bit. And if you come down, you go through the archway. Dead ends over there. And you pick up this treasure. Making sure that it's not a mimic, as always. Get you another Doom and Titanite, the treasures of Anor Londo, the remnants of the nameless blacksmith deity. Down into the, looks like an abyss down there, not the abyss, but just looks dark down there at the bottom of Anor Londo. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But then as you go back through here, only one way to go, man. You've already been up the stairs, and you try walking on this for the first time, and then you feel like a genius when it works. Like, this is probably one of the the more difficult to find, like, direct routes through the game, like right there. Like, main required route that you have to traverse. But, you know, you're looking at it like, I don't know, man. I don't know about walking on this thing. Get over here and see the broken window, and now you're feeling like, yep. Camera auto wall recovery. It can screw you up when you're walking in between those narrow archways, where it will try to auto adjust the camera, and that can affect your controls and throw you to your death. So I generally play with camera wall auto recovery off. There was a bug with it in Bloodborne, where you were going through a boss fog gate. It could actually, like, the camera would get stuck a little bit, and you would have some massive frame drops, and very, very irritating. But other than that, in all Souls games, I play with that off most of the time. So just letting you guys know about that setting. If you've ever been walking around on a treacherous path where the camera is suddenly moved by the wall and your controls are reoriented and you fall to your death, well, that's one thing you can do to stop that. Kill this dude. I know some people actually jump onto this chandelier to go after the treasure. I've played Demon Souls, so I know. Kick the chain, man. That's some fucking strength right there. You kick the chain and bust it. That's awesome. But yeah, Demon Souls had this gimmick as well, where you cut the chain to drop the treasure down to where you can access it. So as soon as I saw that the first time, I was like, I know what to do here, man. Now I'm gonna show off Iron Flesh. This is actually, I almost fucked up because I wasn't two-handing my weapon anymore. This is actually a pretty good place for it. I didn't really need it there per se because I just killed the guy, but Iron Flesh gives you quite a bit of poise, and it also makes enemy attacks rebound off of you like that. Or enemy light attacks will rebound off of you. Basically, it gives your body deflection similar to what you'll find on large shields. Pretty handy in a couple of key areas, but it keeps you from rolling, it keeps you from moving fast, you're unable to move freely, it says. So it's definitely, you have to be careful where you use it. Here we see amazing chest ahead. This is actually a statue of the goddess of bounty and fertility, the goddess of sunlight, Gwynevere. And then we see another amazing chest right over there. So one chest leads to another. You have to take a little leap. This is the route through the level over there. And we can see the treasure and the corpses on the floor below as a hint that we can get down there. That was a bold jump. A surprise indeed. Demon Souls reference if you don't get it. Yeah, this is the feet of the goddess of fertility. Good old Gwynevere, man. Her cathedral. This seems to be a cathedral. I don't know if it's dedicated to her, but she has a prominent statue here within this kind of, let's call it a church, and then a large painting at the other end of things. We will definitely have a lot more to do with that soon. Can roll off here. Get back to where we were going. I'm just checking out the designs, man. That's all I'm doing. Checking out the designs. 33330 kill. These Painting Guardian ambushes. And to return to where we were before. I wish you could bust these. I just want to see what's outside. I just want to see. I don't even want to go nowhere else. I just want to see what's going on, man. Kick that box. Yeah, kick it good. What do we get? A divine blessing. Once again, this is from Gwynevere in the first place. Holy water from goddess Gwynevere, the goddess of sunlight Gwynevere, daughter of the great lord of sunlight Gwyn, yada yada yada. People have wondered if the divine blessing is actually Gwynevere's breast milk. That is one thing I've had people say. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It would put it like this. It would not surprise me. It's exactly the sort of like hidden little joke that I think FromSoft would go for, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything to make me think that would be the case. Could be though. I don't know what else it would be. Oh man, I just thought all the kind of things that you know what? Never mind. Alright. Goodbye for now, Gwynevere, or statue of Gwynevere anyway. It's a fascinating point too that her statue is much larger than the Silver Knights next to her. That's kind of, you know, you could interpret it to be simply symbolic, but based off of evidence that we're going to find later, it makes it seem like, well, no, she really is, or was, actually that size. Man, that Gargoyle, he wants a piece of us, man. He's ready. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Oh, slow your roll, buddy. We exploring and looking around. If you go down these stairs before you actually turn the elevator, which I never do. Like, I always end up interacting with the switch first, with the lever first. But if you actually do come down these stairs, then what you see at the bottom, you see that there's this walkway over to nothing, right? You see a gargoyle above us. Put me in, coach! I got this! The darkness at the bottom of the city once again. But you also see this door, this extra path over there. And if you've been paying attention to your geography, you'll know that that's directly below the area, the rafters that we were just on. So the treasure that dropped down from the chandelier, along with the corpses from all the people that we killed, that's how we actually access that. So now we'll go back up and we'll push the lever normally, as one is wont to do. And in the bottom left, you actually saw that. You actually see the door there for just a second, and then it's hidden in the cutscene. Really cool, all the little hints that they give you. This guy wants a piece. All right, Brittany, you want a piece of me? He didn't. I believe, yeah, as the last gargoyle that we killed on the playthrough, he was definitely going to drop the stuff for us. So now we have the gargoyle helm as well as the gargoyle shield. And head back this direction. Actually, the fog gate for this section, when you're in multiplayer, is actually right up ahead here. This one, from the elevator that we came through at the start, that's actually where the fog gate appears. And I've had a lot of people have asked me in the past why there are fog gates in various like random places throughout the levels other than boss rooms. A lot of it's multiplayer related, to let you know where the different multiplayer sections are at. Of course, there's not one here normally, but it will form if you get invaded or if you summon somebody. So when we get up here, we'll check out the gargoyle gear that we've picked up. Let's see. First of all, the gargoyle's shield. Bronze shield of the gargoyle guarding the Bell of Awakening in the Undead Church. The gargoyle's skin is tough by itself, and perhaps its shield may have been a prop, for it is a rare example of a metal shield that does not reduce physical damage by 100%. It's true, it only reduces it by 85, but it actually has good fire and lightning resistance, which is kind of fascinating. But this bronze material, this is going to be common for gear pertaining to Anor Londo. We're going to see bronze a lot here. And in fact, the gargoyle's halberd as well, halberd of the gargoyle guarding the Bell of Awakening in the Undead Church, perfectly standard bronze halberd without any special power. Pretty interesting. A lot of people like that as opposed to the normal halberd. We'll play with it later on in the playthrough. And of course, before we got the tail axe, which can be used as a bronze battle axe, bends dramatically during large attacks, owing to its nature as a fucking tail. But yeah, bronze gear is very common here. Guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. I am Marcus, also known as EMB. This has been From the Dark. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. We're going to do something a little bit different next time. I'll catch you then. Let's do the thing.